Well, hello there, and welcome to a very special stream today in celebration of Minecraft's release of 1.20. We're getting the pink trees, the bamboo, the camels, all of those wonderful things, and we are here in Hermitcraft with a very special guest that you can't see apparently because Minecraft is refusing to show up. We have a black screen. This is a wonderful start, but not unsurprising knowing me and my stream. Come on, Minecraft. Come on. I believe in you. Watch this. There it is. There we go. We've got Gnembom, the one, the only. This is starting out really good, Gnembom. Mispronouncing your name. Screen was black.
Perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. But welcome, stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So as I said, super excited that the day has finally come, that 1.20 has released. And I thought we would tour Scarland a little bit, talk with Gnembom about, where I'm going to put some of the 1.20 items, talk a little bit about the release, and then we'll pop onto another server and look at all of the items because Hermitcraft will probably be like 2 weeks or more out before we get the update because we use way too many mods that we have to wait to get updated. So Gnembom, welcome to Hermitcraft. First of all, welcome.
Hello there. So yeah, this looks awesome.
Yeah, you're in a giant grass field. It looks just fantastic.
Yes. and we just explained if you poke one of those grass blocks, there's madness below. So better no.
I have a very special present for you for Scarland here. Look at this. It is a welcome to Scarland box. We got jelly ears, balloons, food.
Oh, there's lots of food, and this is a very interesting food, I must say.
Oh, it's only the finest things here at Scarland. And you got the jelly ears. Yes, look at them. Oh, they look wonderful. And the balloon, although you can put that in your hand. Get that in your hand.
Yeah, although they block a little bit of view. Those balloons.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you can take them off. I always forget to tell people to use the resource pack to kill that look. And also, I got one other thing for you. Hold on. Just because he told me to give it to you.
Oh, the hot guy.
Signed autograph of Hawkeye. Signed autograph.
Oh, I should put that in the ender chest so no one can steal it off of me.
All right, let's go on a little tour. I'll show you some of the things that I'd like to do, and then we can just talk about the update. So the update's live now. So 1.20 is out. So everybody can now download it on the vanilla launcher, which is fantastic. It feels like, I don't know, it feels so long ago that it got announced. It's finally here. That's very exciting. Yeah,
we worked on it since live, but we also worked on it before. So for us, it's actually longer than for you guys. So.
That is true. Now, disregard, there is a substantial amount of poop throughout the area. I'm currently horse cursed, by the way. I'm horse cursed. I have been cursed by the horses around here. So Scarland, so this is my theme park base, and in this area I've tried to incorporate every single, oh boy, these horses. I've tried to incorporate almost every block in the game here. So when 1.20 releases, I can't wait to start updating the area. So like one of the things is I have like the candy shop over here, and I was never really satisfied with the pink. Like the pink colors. So I think the cherry blossom trees will, like the wood will start getting incorporated into that building. So I think that is something I'm super excited about. This horse.
Yeah.
I am horse cursed, by the way, if you didn't know.
Yeah, I could tell, and I heard stories about why this happened. So
yeah, but that was hot guy. That wasn't me. That wasn't.
Oh, that was a hot guy.
Yeah.
So that's silly that they need to. I don't know who is doing that for you if the hot guy is really responsible.
Exactly. So yeah, like in this area, I think that's one of the fun things about any Minecraft update is kind of looking in your world. Like if you have an existing world and then trying to figure out like, oh, sweet. Because the Minecraft world's constantly evolving, right? So we can be like, hey, I can take these items and this items and incorporate it into our existing builds. So I think that's one of my favorite parts of an update is just figuring out what the cool new things can be incorporated into my base. So I'm super excited about finally getting them in here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, like to see how you, because like you use some mangrove wood here. I can see, like you can probably try to marry it with the pink, red and pink.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh, that's right, because this building, this red building, was designed to incorporate as many of the new blocks from the last update into it.
mhm.
So maybe like when I finish the front area where it's all just grass still, like that might be fun to try to figure out how to make one of those buildings incorporate all of the new blocks into it, which I think could be really cool.
Yeah.
That could be super fun. Now the biggest thing in this update that I'm very excited about is the rafts, like the bamboo rafts, because in my adventure isle area of the park, yeah, disregard all the poop. Disregard the poop. In this area, I want to make a river ride, and I'm sure you've seen it. There's a like a perpetual river mechanic, so
Mhm.
you can basically just have the boats just like flow down a river without user input. Oh my gosh, the
Mhm.
horses! You are
Okay.
now horse
they
cursed,
like
Gnembom.
they like this. Yeah, basically they like the Scarland Slurpees.
That is hilarious. So when I saw in the update they were adding actual like rafts, I was like, that is going to be perfect for my river ride in this area. So I think that's going to be super super fun to have that over there.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's pop up to the stage and get away from these dumb horses.
and it's getting dark.
Do you have the bed? The I
I
think I dropped it.
I I do have the bed. Yes.
Yeah, sleep
Oh,
sleep that night away. Whew.
whew. I'm the beat ups now.
You are the B dubs. I am the B dubs now. All right, so Nembom, I've got some questions for you. Got some questions for
Sure.
you. Got some questions. So I asked some of my viewers, I asked some of the hermits, just questions about the update and stuff like that. And one of the questions I got was from Etho, our Canadian friend. So you guys had the shulk sensors were added in the prior update. And then in this update, you've kind of overhauled them and added a whole bunch more functionality to them. Is the current state of these sensors, is that something that you guys are like happy with, or do you guys want to see these continue to evolve with more functionality?
Yeah, I think like this was the second iteration of the scope sensors after
Mm-hmm.
we the feedback we got after the wild update, and this was like players really wanted to like for us to be able to filter them, but also have more reach and act faster,
Mm.
and that's essentially what the calibrated scope sensor is. And for now, I think we are satisfied how it plays out and how it works. However, we have 120. After 120 is 121 and 122. If we receive feedbacks like showing where we can improve it further, that's definitely a time to do it. Like basically nothing is set in stone in this game.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Designs change. Like if we feel like it needs a little bit of tweaking, we can always do that. But I think the calibrated scope sensor might be interesting, uh, not just for redstoners, but also for builders. Like because of this interesting shape it has, and the fact that it actually pokes through short blocks like carpets. You
It
can
does.
really,
I haven't tried that yet. So, oh, that's interesting. To me, it looks like a warp core. It's like something in like the Starship Enterprise from Star Trek or something. Um,
yeah.
like it could be like the catalyst of something like cool. So yeah, you're right. It most builders have no idea what it does, but it does look cool. It does look cool.
Yeah.
So that's
Plus it
interesting.
plus
Yeah.
it plus it also like reacts to all sorts of vibrations like the previous sensor, which release interesting particles. Those like little like echo echo of like the vibrations. That also can be probably something used not just by redstoners.
Oh yeah, back I forgot to show it to you, but there's a music shop in Main Street, and it has every block in Minecraft that makes noise, and then one of them is like the Shrackers or whatever they're called, like going off and sending out those little like sound waves. So yeah, there's always fun things. It's just like the comparator, right? I still don't fully understand what a comparator does, but that red light, it's all about that red light. all about that red light. It's also observers. Now I can understand what an observer does. It observes things, but
Yes.
it's also got a flashy red light, and
And
that's
blinks,
the best
yeah.
part of it. That's the best part. Now, I didn't realize this till recently, but according to Etho, that is a redstoner's pet peeve with builders, is that we lag up servers by making those flash just for no reason.
I mean, how else can you get those red LED, like blinking LED diodes? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. But just like, this is what's interesting. So the first time I should have started with an introduction more, but you know, I'm good at this stuff. Gnembom, the first time I was aware of you was Wells was, I was struggling with redstone, and Wells was like, dude, Gnembom can help. He's the nicest guy. He's the nicest guy. He's super smart. And I'm like, oh no, I don't know. I don't want to bother him. But that was the first time I was introduced to you, and you created one of the most simple but best mob farms ever. Like the little platforms, and
Yes.
like the little water that like pushes the mobs down into the little pit down below. So that was the first time I was introduced to you, and then we met at Nashville for Minecon Live. And we hung out with like Bumbo and stuff like that. And now you're a Minecraft developer. How did this happen? How did this happen?
No, I
just
have no
happened.
idea. Yeah, we met at Nashville, which was a great experience, and I also met other people there, also like Minecraft developers as well. And we chatted. We basically figured out we are real people, which sometimes you can think of like as like maybe not here on Twitch, but like on YouTube. People typically like don't show themselves because that's not really important. Like the important is the content that they do and what they represent.
Yeah.
With the characters that they portray. And this was like an interesting kind of like a clash of universes when suddenly we had the chance to actually meet. And yeah, and then the pandemic happened. Everybody remembers that. I think I hope it's not a taboo word these days.
No, I don't think we'll get kicked off. There was
Can
a
get
time on
demonetized.
YouTube. You had to be a little
I
careful.
know.
There was a
Yeah,
time.
people were like basically figuring all sorts of like euphemism of like for something that is a scientific term.
Yeah.
It has nothing. Yes, but then yeah, basically so I had an opportunity to join, and I was like, heck yeah. And I was like, this is like I've been in the past, I've been doing mods, I've been doing content for Minecraft. And this was an opportunity to basically start to do that as part of your daily job. And I was like, why? Like everybody basically strives to do their hobby as your job, and this is like kind of like that.
Oh,
So
we were so excited when you broke the news on Twitter, like in Hermitcraft. We're like, Gnembom, what the heck? That's amazing. Like oh man, we were very excited because you kind of dropped off the radar for a while, and then we're like, then you broke this news, and it was like, oh, good news. Like, oh, we were very excited. We were very excited for you.
yeah, I dropped off the radar for a very concrete reason. When basically I learned that I'm moving to Sweden,
That's a lot.
it was like crap. Now I need to pack up, and it's like I spent I think like 6 months in my basement going through stuff. I'm not kidding.
I have a question. Like, I don't know. I love life's paths, right? Like, where I never thought I would be where I'm at today doing content, and I assume like when you you fired up Minecraft for the first time, you never thought that you would be living in Sweden working on this game that you booted up, you know, some years ago.
No.
That's what I love about life sometimes, is like sometimes you especially for people that might be in like a bad position, a bad part in their life or something like that, and you know they think that, you know, the walls are closing in on them, but in reality, like, you never know what's around that corner. And I just love how, like, you know, in my position, having this great opportunity to make content, and for you, like, you know, booting up Minecraft one day for the first time, and then if you fast forward some years, now you're actually working for the game, living in Sweden. Like, I love that. I love that. It's got to be a dream
Yeah.
job, right?
Yes. And I think it's all boils down to taking your chances.
Mm-hmm.
So life typically basically provides you with like all sorts of opportunities, and in some cases you might think it's like, oh, it's not gonna happen, and maybe you shouldn't bother, but it is important to take all the chances that you can get, because at first you like life will be giving you what you would expect, but sometimes you'll shot really high, like you shoot really high, and you would maybe not expect some goodness to happen, but it does happen. So don't give up, and basically aim where you want to go. And I think that's my message.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first time I booted Minecraft, I thought squids are the most vicious creatures in the game. did you look? Did you look at on their faces?
They're terrifying.
Yes, and like if you don't know that they are really harmless, I think I was I think I was drowning.
Mhm.
I just didn't know that, and I was basically attributing all of that to those squids, and I was afraid of them for a couple of months.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, I
Avoiding water.
I mean, man, when I first started playing Minecraft, there was no beds, there was no compasses. I constantly got lost. I was just recreating new bases every time I got lost. So that was my life. You were scared of squids. I was just lost. I was just constantly lost. And then I had my like fire phase where I kept burning down my bases. But yeah. So I have a question. So now you're working at Mojang. Something that always fascinates me is like the blending of creativity and like technical know-how. It's why I love like Imagineering at Disney. They combine like the artists and the engineers to create theme park rides, and I see it very similar with tied back to Disney. I see it very similar at Mojang in a way. Like you have the very technical people, and then you have kind of like artists and creative people. So my question is like, when you guys are generating ideas for 1.20, for instance, like how does that process work? Do you have like all the teams in the same room, or is it kind of big idea, creative people come up with the idea and they bring it to you, or you guys kind of work in collaboration together? Like how is the creative process at Mojang? Because I'm endlessly fascinated in creative processes.
We do have once or twice a year, kind of like a big meetups where everybody who's involved in Minecraft Vanilla
Mm-hmm.
and like anybody who wants to join also can participate. It's like a big entire day of just absolutely brainstorming, throwing ideas at a wall
I love
just to see what sticks, and then given some theme. Yeah, so we typically know what kind of theme for the updates we want to shoot at, and then it's like everybody just shoots whatever they their like wildest imagination provides,
Mm-hmm.
and then there is a lot of work going through those post-it notes and trying to come up with something that makes sense and is coherent.
Oh, that's interesting. So there's like a giant post-it note wall just full of Minecraft ideas.
Yes.
Oh, see, I just have a scroll of ideas that I'd like to add into Minecraft. We'll talk about that later. Oh, so that's really interesting. It's I guess I've been around this world for so long, Minecraft, that it's so cool to see that this day and age in Mojang's lifespan is like you have technical guys, but you also have like you have concept artists and all of this stuff, which seems new in the creative process at Mojang from like years past. So it's so cool to see, for an update, like some of the artwork now being released for the last like 2 or 3 updates. Because that like personally, like that's one of my favorite things to see is like all the cool concept art. So yeah, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot one question from Cub. Where did the name come from? Where did Gnembom come from?
Oh my god.
Cub asked this, and I have to ask.
That's like a character from a novel. When I
Oh.
was little, it was like a very abstract piece, and it's like absolutely crazy, like basically written by somebody, basically by someone who I don't know what they were drinking or what they were smoking, but it was a book in school we had, and this is like everybody was weirded out. It's like why they even allow that in schools. I was playing some games. I was playing the I think Heroes of Might and Magic
Mm-hmm.
saga, like two or three, and I needed a player name. So I was like, well, let's get that random weirdo dude and let's use its name for that. So yeah, so it has no particular reason. It's just basically I needed a name, and I was basically around these characters. So I used that, and I kind of decided to keep it. Like when I set up my YouTube channel, I was like, should I be myself or should I be somebody else? And I was like, let maybe him do that.
I like
So
that.
I think that separation of my personal life and
Mm-hmm.
my game life, I think it's interesting to basically have that, and because like when I broke up the news in my previous place I was working that I'll be joining Mojang, almost everybody knew exactly what I was talking, and it was weird, and they learned that that's basically basically what I was doing secretly uh,
Secretly.
during during the nights and like the YouTube channel and stuff, and everybody was so happy for me leaving their company.
That's I mean that's a good positive workspace. They know like, hey, I mean they probably would love to have kept you, but they know like that's like something really special that you're going to do, so they were happy for you. That's awesome. That shows like
Yeah,
you know you had a good impact on them and they had a good environment there, which was great. Um,
yeah.
that is really cool. So for 1.20, I've noticed there's been a big change in the way Mojang has kind of gone about this update from the previous
Yes,
updates. So
yes,
in
definitely.
Minecon Live, you didn't announce a theme, which in say prior updates we got the Nether update, for example.
Hmm.
And not all the features, if I'm not mistaken, were announced there. Like you had like the camel, the pink wood, and the bamboo. I think.
Not even. It was only camel, hanging signs, and bamboo. That's it.
Oh, you're right.
So
Yes. Wow.
just a few things, and the idea was that here's kind of like the overall theme of the items, like of the items you want to introduce, items,
Mm-hmm.
blocks, mobs, and introducing into the update. But we don't want to say what will be like. We had all of that ready right away. So right when the Minecon happened, the week after we had a snapshot
Yeah, that's right. That
with
was like that was surprising.
with all those features pretty much ready for feedback, ready to play with. Obviously with still basically snapshot quality, but
Mm-hmm.
appeared on both Java and Bedrock, which Bedrock appears on all sorts of platforms as well, including Chrome, like basically including Chromebooks now. So all of that needs to work perfectly everywhere. So we had that all available there, and then because of that we were able to focus on other things throughout the year and basically release them like boom 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 boom, here's a new feature. And I think the community learned that this is like it's not just a small update that we are promising, or it's not just a small update that we are working on.
Mm-hmm.
It will be big, and we'll be basically throwing those little like tidbits in the right moment. Like I think the cherry blossoms were introduced right when the cherries started to spring in basically all around the world, which was actually a nice coincidence.
And it was a surprise, which I love. It,
Yeah.
it almost feels like, in a way, how the game kind of threw out surprises in the past. Like in the last few updates, it felt like you know everything was really neatly packaged. You know, like here's everything. But I kind of like this because it reminds me of like olden Minecraft where they would just like throw out something random. You're like, whoa, that was a
Yeah, like
surprise. So
yeah,
yeah,
like Friday updates.
yeah, Friday
Friday
updates.
updates.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, my poor survival world got every Friday update no matter what. There's so many glitches on it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that's really cool. From your perspective as like a developers, has this been a little bit easier on you guys, like to kind of have maybe a little bit more freedom to kind of work with things without having them pre-announced? Like, is that easier on you guys as developers, or does that help in the process?
I mean, we do have the same amount of work. It's just much easier mentally for the team.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, that's good.
Like, I don't want to go back to like the previous times, but like we've worked on things this year that we just thought, yeah, not as fun. So we just like switch to something else, and then when we figure out that that feature is fun, then we like build it up all across the platforms and then release it. Okay. So we had much more freedom in terms of like following basically theming that this update into something that we hope will be well received and well welcomed.
That's cool. Yeah, I've liked this the way you guys done this update. It also does feel from an outsider that you guys are less stressed. So I think that's like a win-win for you guys, the game itself, for everybody. If you guys are, less stressed, you're kind of just working your way through it instead of being like crunched. So that's really good to hear. Rascal Wolf from the chat wants to know, what was the item or the block or mechanic in 1.20 that was the longest period of design time, like that took the longest to design?
Design item or block?
Anything.
Because
anything.
Camel.
The camel. Okay.
Camel is neither an item nor a block.
Although
I would not mind a block of camel.
Block of camel.
Yeah, I think like mobs, like complex mobs, are the ones that take the most time. That the most design time, iteration time, plus the mob systems on Bedrock and Java are very different, and we are striving to get them in parity as much as we can. So mobs typically take the most time. Last time, Warden was the one that was taking most of the development effort. This time around, it was way more balanced. I think we scoped the camera, like you are scooping the camera. We scoped the camel quite well in terms of like, so it's not too complex, not too overpowered, but it still gives a little bit of like a unique feel.
Yeah.
To the game.
That it is a unique item or a unique item block mob.
Yeah.
There's 2 players, right? 2 players can ride a camel. It's got the dash. Yeah. I kind of pretend that I manifested the camel, by the way. I don't know if you know this. In 2001, or not 2001, gosh, that's pre-Minecraft. 21, I was saying that we really need horses where you could have like a buddy jump on the back, so you can like take somebody around the world like you can on a boat on water. So I pretend that I manifested the camel to be a reality. So now, if I want to show somebody something on the server, I'm like, hey, hop on. We get on the camel and I can take somebody somewhere. Like I'm very hyped for the camel. And I was watching Cub's Everything You Need to Know About the Update, which is the most useful video that comes out for every update, and everybody should watch that. I didn't know that it was high enough that zombies can't get you on it. So I was like, this is now my favorite mob.
Yes, although you have to be aware of other mobs, like basically creepers can still blow on you.
I was gonna ask. I was hoping that answer was gonna be no. Creepers are scared of camels. Dang it. Okay. All right. There's always.
I must say, like when I was working on the camel, I used to like run around the random worlds on a camel, trying to basically find the best balance for the camel yeet, in terms of like being able to go through the world as it generates. And basically I was testing that camel jump through like ravines that are basically naturally generating. So this is all tuned so you can actually quite comfortably go around your world. Camel cannot jump more than 1 block though.
Oh.
So there are still areas where horses are better. So horses can typically jump 2, 3, even 4 or 5 blocks
Mm-hmm.
if you find a good one. Um, but uh, camels can walk through 1.5 high fences
Mm-hmm.
without jumping. They can just go over them. Uh, but they cannot really jump normally higher than they can walk.
Okay, that's interesting. This is I do like that there's a new form of transportation. It does have some unique aspects to it because I always think that maybe the Elytra might be personally a little bit OP. So having alternative means of transportation like the camel, and you've now buffed the horses. So B-Dub's here on the server. Like, I don't know if you can see it from here, but he has a whole breeding pasture. Now there was an accident there, but we don't talk about that. But um, he is so excited about the breeding, which is one of the coolest things about maybe the way you guys are doing these updates now, is that we have 1.20, we have all the new blocks and features that came out with that. But from the time span from the release today to the release of the last update, you guys have updated a few things along the way, like the breeding horses mechanic, the record discs, and a few other things, which is new. And I think is really cool because it kind of keeps the game a little bit fresh in between the big update areas where you guys have like thrown in a couple neat features along the way. So I think that's cool. I hope you guys do more of that. Personally,
Yeah, and that's also a side of the team having cycles and team being quite relaxed actually
that's
this
good.
time around, and having that mental capacity to actually tackle some of the older challenges and basically also take care of older features in the game and basically try to polish that, and we'll keep doing that as long as we can.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. That we got those little extra things, and plus like the horse breeding mechanic might seem small, like to some people, but that's really huge. Like that adds a whole new level of like gameplay to a lot of people in the game who love horses. Now they can get very specialized horses and stuff like that. So um, yeah, I was really excited, especially for B-Dubs because he loves horses and he's got his horse pasture over there. Um,
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question from Void from our Discord. What was the craziest or silliest bug that you encountered when you were developing 1.20? Did you guys get anything silly or goofy, or you had to get somebody to come over and look at your computer?
I Yes, I have a few stories from like when I was working on the armor trims.
Oh,
Armor trims, like if you think of like new block sets or new mobs, they are pretty standard in terms of like what you would expect from Minecraft to do.
mm-hmm.
Like there are mobs, there are there are like different blocks with like different textures, but armor trims is something actually that's technically a little bit newer, and I was basically trying to figure out exactly how to properly render it, and then probably I definitely did something wrong there, but like suddenly it was like all those armor trims were like randomly just jetting through your body and like in a very weird fashion. You had like a what was that artist that the basically Picasso, or like not Picasso, no, this is like artist that draw, oh, basically Salvador Dali, kind of like
Okay, yeah.
with like a hand going through your forehead and things like that, and I was like, this doesn't look good, I probably messed up.
We gotta see these things. Mojang needs like just like a fun, side account for you guys. It's called the glitch Twitter account,
Yeah,
and you post these to the Twitter. That would be hilarious. Oh,
yeah,
I'd love to see that.
yeah.
That's great.
Also another aspect with the camel was one of the features of the camel is that when it sits, basically it sits down and stands up. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually, I think, the first mob that can change its shape. Not just like if you think of the bounding box that they occupy. When it sits down, it is smaller. When it stands up, it is larger and has that animation. So
Yeah.
even when you are sitting on the camel, you basically gradually go down and up from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And basically one of the paradigms of the camel is that they are immovable when they are sitting down because they are firm on the ground, and
Oh,
that was interesting to do because like
so it is a
uh,
block.
it you can say it's basically it's like a statue then,
Oh, that's
but
okay. I
like
see.
But like at the beginning, I locked it from moving, but still a player could be able to hop on it and start riding it.
Mm-hmm.
And you had those like camel looking like like a little hovercraft, just just zooming, just zooming on its butt through the ground.
So it's
That was
in its sitting position, just zooming around.
yeah,
Oh, that's
zooming
hilarious.
around on his bum or like flowing in water. You can still do that. Like we thought, okay, let's not be too serious. So you can hook them up on a lead, and as long as you pull them off the ground, they'll just
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it when you guys are silly. I encourage more of this. And I'm going to second this again. I think you guys should have a fun glitch account where you post some of this stuff. I think the community would die over seeing this stuff. I think they would love it. Obviously, you don't want to spoil anything, but maybe it's like later down the line or something. I guarantee you, people would love to see that. That's fantastic. That's cool. I love those little unexpected glitches and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. Yeah, like in with 1.20, I'm trying to think. There's so much to it, because at first, like, we kind of had like the set amount of stuff, and when I went back, like when I was like, oh, this is actually finally releasing, there's actually a lot of stuff. And one of the aspects of it that I'm personally not touching is archaeology, or not touching in terms of looking at it. I want to experience it for myself. So that was really cool to see that you guys went back. I guess is my question, is like, you guys went back to a previous update where something got kind of delayed, and you pulled that and brought it to this update. So that was an interesting like change. I felt like that you guys went back in time to something that got delayed and like brought it to this update. This whole update's just interesting to me because it's so different from kind of the way things have gone in the past. So you guys open more in these days to go back and like pull stuff that maybe you didn't get finished, or maybe didn't work at that point but now works now, like archaeology.
So archaeology was, I think, planned from day one. It just wasn't announced during 120. Like development, because it does tie into the update through basically like pre-representation storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
And with decorated pots, you have also a lot of ability to basically create like the self-expression through those like pottery shards,
Yeah.
where you can actually build those like almost like like emoji like emoji like signs, whatever. So we knew that we will work on it, and we plan to actually release it part of this update. We just didn't announce it, and when it was ready, it came out, and I think people were surprised positively about that. Although like this was announced, something that we've talked about that like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like unlike, for example, armor trims, that just nobody expected that.
No,
So
that was a surprise. That
I
was,
hope a good one.
yeah, that was yeah. And when in the future for the, you're already thinking, you guys are probably already thinking about the next update. Will you guys go on a similar development path as 1.20 for 1.21 now? Like where maybe you guys don't announce like maybe the theme at Minecon Live, or all the features, where you guys kind of stick to this pattern going forward? Or you guys just kind of, however it goes, however it feels?
It definitely worked this year round, and we will stick to that.
Okay.
For now. And I think community first, like last year, didn't really understood. Like they really maybe learned not to have so like high hopes. So people were saying that maybe that update is a little too small because they didn't see our plans. Yeah, the scope of it. And now it will be probably easier to convey that this is exactly this this is the theme of the update. This is like some of the features that will come off that update, but that's not everything, and you can expect more throughout the year, and you will see more as it comes.
That's cool. Yeah, I think the best way to like convey it to people is like, you're only getting a sneak peek. There'll be more. So that's exciting. Well, I'm just glad that you guys are having an easier like development time in terms of like, you know, like you said, you still have the same amount of work, but it's a little bit more relaxing. Because I think a lot of the community and Hermitcraft and stuff, we kind of felt like you guys, yeah, the last two updates, it seemed like it was tough on you guys. So I'm really glad that you guys seem to be in a good spot. So that's really encouraging. So do you want to go take a look at some of these updates? You want to go see the, I want to look at the Sniffer. I have questions about the Sniffer. So we have a server set up for 1.20. So do you want to pop over there and take a look at that? Okay, sweet. And as we're going over there, I've got another question from Kirby. What feature? Hold on. Where's my buttons? I've lost my buttons. Hold on. There it goes. Asks, what feature would you want to see in Minecraft? Like a dream feature that you know would never get implemented. Do you have one that you can say? Like, I know this will never get implemented into Minecraft, but would be really cool.
If I had such a feature, I would never say it publicly, because I could still have a hope.
You would have a hope.
and if I say it, I'll jinx it so badly.
That's hilarious. I'll say that before I get to the great scroll of ideas.
Yeah. Because it is important to note that at Mojang, everybody can bring a great idea onto the table. It doesn't matter where you work or what are you working with, or who are you like what part of the system are you in. If you are passionate enough and you convince enough number of people that we have capacity, and then it can happen. So I don't want to jinx anything, because if I have stuff, I'll probably...
You gotta keep it close. Or you never know. That idea might seem outlandish, and you might be like, hey, what if I just kind of adjust it? Now it really fits the game. Like, it might be kind of crazy. So I get that. I'm playing with the crate mod right now, and it is my favorite mod of all time. It'll never get implemented into Minecraft, obviously, but it's like a dream that some form of it, like steam power or something, gets added to Minecraft. Oh, that's my dream. So we are looking at one of the coolest biomes I've ever seen in the game, generated naturally.
Yeah, and this is an actual spawn of that world. It's not like curated. It's just... So one thing about cherry groves. Cherry Grove replaced parts of the meadows biome. Oh. And meadows biome was typically generating next to large mountains. So while it is common for cherry groves to be like small and like individual, like a few trees, if you find a proper seed, you can actually get them right next to big mountains, like alpine, whatever, like environment. So this is actually really cool example of what is maybe not super typical, but not super rare to find. And
this is such a beautiful piece of land, because at least how I've always gone in Minecraft is a lot of the land inspires the build for me. So in this area, you can instantly start kind of like envisioning like what style builds that could go in here. Like I have this like Japanese inspired build idea for this mountain here. Landscape inspires ideas for me. I absolutely love that. Oh, you're holding my least favorite block.
Least favorite block.
I've had a okay. I don't like parquet floors where they have the crisscrossing patterns. It was very popular where I grew up in like older houses, and I saw that added to Minecraft. I'm like, I'm gonna have to get over my phobia of parquet floors.
Not necessarily. Like this is you can use it as basically like a parquet, as basically as you said, but you don't have to.
I'm getting flashback to the 80s, Gnembom, 80s houses.
Okay, let's not stick to that. But if you look at like regular planks, there is this.
I'm so glad you guys added these, just for the fact. Oh, there's a creep that scared me. Just for the fact that we can compact our bamboo now, and it's useful too.
But one issue with planks in general but it's also part of their design, is they're easy to use. So you don't have to think about like how you place them. They always place the same, so they always face the same way. Yeah. So if I take a basically bamboo plank, and if I facing that way or that way, the lines on that texture will always face the same,
Yeah, yeah,
basically in
yeah.
the same basically in the same direction, and you can't really change it.
Mm-hmm.
But with bamboo, we did something interesting because the basically block of bamboo has exactly the same texture on the side as it has as the planks have on the top.
Oh, I get. Okay, so this would be considered like a, I don't know, for instance, the cherry, like the bark version.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, I see what you mean.
yeah, exactly. So you can, for example, use like if I use the basically packed bamboo, you can mimic so it looks like this floor. But if you want to have them basically running in a different direction, you can just do like that.
I see what you mean. So yeah, like a traditional like wood. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could only get it in one direction, but with this you can use the what's
yeah.
this called? Block. Okay, so that one is
This,
that, and then this is the planks.
so yeah,
Oh, that's
so this is like a log, and then but then you can see that there is a problem on the edges between these two surfaces. Yes.
oh there. Am I seeing this like
Because
this line kind of goes across? Or
yeah,
yeah,
because like they don't go smoothly in one another.
yeah, I see that.
But
Yeah.
what if you use
Oh,
but
the parquet floor actually has a purpose.
so exactly, so you can have, let's say you basically half of your floor goes this way, half of your floor goes this way, and then you use the parquet or the mosaic blocks to kind
I
of tie them
see. Oh, that makes
to
so
kind
much
of
sense. Chat, you're
tie them
clipping this.
together.
We're gonna need to remember this.
Yeah, so you can see this is still your parquet that you hate, but it's actually you can use it as kind of like as a block that you can use to actually tie in.
I love that.
Uh,
I once told my parents when we were looking at houses, like, not that house, it had a parquet floor.
yeah. So if you want to use the parquet block as a parquet block, yeah, you can do what you want, but there is more to it.
You know what's simple about this block is like you can make little shelving pieces with this, right? Like you can build out like a little
Yeah.
stuff around it, and these can even act as like little shelves. That's really cool.
Like a wine storage or
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Also, can I just
yeah.
point out a big thank you to you and your team, because the creative menu is amazing, and we very much appreciate that. The update to organizing and everything is
Yes.
so helpful. It's taken a while
Yes,
to get
creative.
used to, but it's amazing. Like it's
Yes, like basically creative menu was just a vomit of all the blocks and items, roughly categorized. But now it's but now it's actually organized so it has a purpose, and blocks actually can appear in multiple tabs if they make sense.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those things that takes a little bit to get used to because you've stared at it for 10 plus years, but it's amazing. It's very much appreciated. All the woods. I can't tell you. Having all the woods in one spot. Come on, chat. You know this to be true. Search your feelings. This is amazing to have every birch piece of wood here in one line. That saves so much time. That saves so much time.
Also with bamboo, what's also unique about bamboo is the texture of the fences and fence gates.
Mm-hmm.
So while other woods, they use the same texture that basically that the planks use. Bamboo fences actually do mimic the actual like bamboo stems.
I love those. It reminds me of Indiana Jones at Disneyland, like the way you guys
Yeah.
design those. And you can mix it up with like the living
Regular
version.
bamboo.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot. It feels so long ago that I messed around with these, like in the snapshots, but I love the look of these. It just reminds me of Indiana Jones at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And it's perfect, like the perfect color too. So that's fantastic.
So you have like the living bamboo and you have the dried one next to it, just basically chopped off by somebody.
Yeah, exactly. That's really cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool. And then you guys have added, which like at first I wasn't sure. Like I knew a lot of people were excited about the pink logs, and I'm like, I'm sure there's probably a use for it at some point. Then it hit me. We finally got one of my dream things that's in my Minecraft scroll of ideas. Is this is like the first pastel color added to the game, like a real like kind of pastel, and I'm very excited about this because a lot of blocks in the game are, at least in my opinion, very saturated. So if you have, I'm just searching through here, like if you have concrete, right, it's very like punchy. It's kind of woo right in your face. But the pink wood is one of the first logs added to the game that's a little bit more subtle. And I'm like, ooh, I'd like to see more like this. This is good. This is good.
Yes, yes. It's even more subtle, I think, than birch. I put the birch next to it. Birch is also quite smooth, but it's also very, very standard.
Yeah.
For the wood, the pink of the cherry, and then the darkness of the skin as well, basically of its bark, is interesting for a contrast as well.
Yeah, that's something I'd love to see more of, like, is in that pastel range, because I feel like that's a color palette that's lacking in the game. So I'm very happy with that, because at first I saw it, like I wasn't able to look at the actual thing in the game, and I was like, oh, okay, that'd be cool. And I know some people that were very hyped about like the pink stuff, and then when I saw it in game, I'm like, oh, we got our first pastel. Yes. I was quite excited about that. And then you guys have added hanging signs, which
yes,
is a pretty big. This is a big change to the signs, not only for like the recipe, but the fact that we can edit these now.
You can edit this, and you can edit them on both sides.
Wait, really? I mean, you can write on both sides?
You can write on both sides,
Oh, I didn't even know
different, and they are different texts, and you can do that with regular signs as well.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know this. This is all news to me. I'm excited about that. I did not know that. Have I not been keeping up with the Zuma's update videos? What is going on here?
Maybe he was not so vocal about it, but you can edit each side, and you can put different text on.
Oh my gosh! What in the world? What is? You're spoiling us. You're spoiling us. Oh my gosh. That's
but
awesome.
Like one problems with science, and this became very apparent with the wall hanging sign, is that you can't really use arrows, because you can say shop here, and then you can make an arrow like that, okay?
Yeah.
And in normal in normal circumstances, on the other end, if we had double-sided signs, that arrow will be pointing in the wrong direction. So because you can edit them independently on the front side and the back side, there's actually no back and front side. It's still basically equally as important. You can have arrows pointing into a proper direction, and no matter which direction you are looking at, you see arrow pointing into a proper place. So
that's cool. I love these things. Now the recipe uses stripped logs, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. A little expensive, but it makes sense, like, because it's kind of a different design.
It uses quite expensive material, basically stripped logs, but you get 6 of them back.
Oh wow, I didn't know you got 6. I haven't seen it like the recipe built out in survival yet. So that's cool.
Yeah. So wood-wise, it's essentially 1 sign per 1 wood block in the investment.
Oh, that's
so I think it's I think it's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you got 6. So that's fantastic. Now here's the pot, which is cool. Now this is just the basic pot. This doesn't have like the extra shard or shreds, chads.
Shards.
Ah, okay. Shards. Okay. And then that'll add the different designs on the sides, and these things can be stacked. So I really like that design. I think that'll be really cool for, like, I don't know, pyramids, or I mean any kind of pillar for like a building, like an old like city building. I think could be really cool if you added like brick next to it. So yeah, I'm quite excited about that.
Yeah, so they can be used as columns, as you can see, but also because of the fact that this little like thing, tidbit that sticks out of the block is not actually part of the collision of the block. It actually sticks outside of it. You can like basically stack things in it, and you can still place blocks in that space. For example, I can do
Oh, that
pressure.
fits like perfectly in there. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
or you
that's
can like,
super cool. Oh my gosh, I love that.
or you can, for example, put like a pressure plate
Oh,
on
let's
top,
go.
and
Look at
like,
the gold on there. Oh, you get me so excited, Gnembom. Look at these things. Oh,
and
wow.
and and initially when we were playtesting, it's like, oh, this is like weird, but then we spend the entire playtest just putting random stuff on pots. It's-
I do have can I just point out how absolutely amazing this looks? Wait, I need a pot. Hold on. I need a little pot. This is the coolest sapling in the entire game now.
yes, it is very cool.
That is a really cool one. Now, one thing I'll admit that I was a little bit sad about was that we can't put like a big fern or a big rose bush in there. I feel like that pot should have like the 2 tall flowers in it. Maybe in the future. You just keep that one in mind. You don't have to
Yeah.
say anything. You can just keep it in the memory banks in the back. When you're at that big meeting and the sticky notes are on the wall, you're like, I feel like there's one time where somebody mentioned this is a good idea. Let's say we put the big 2 tall flowers in the pot. You don't have to say anything, just an idea for the future.
I know. Don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it. But yeah, no, that pot is gonna be so fun to make a pillar with. I love that. That's really cool. All right, what else? There's a lot of new stuff in here. Help me find some more stuff in here. We got new record discs.
Yes, but also you can have did we talk about chisel bookshelf?
Oh, chisel bookshelves. You're right. And this is a really cool pattern, by the way. And it's what's nice about it is that it can line up really nicely with you mirrored it with oak, so it can be like a nice like center piece, like to like a column, like if you're making like a frame like a roof like this or anything like, this is the worst example possible that I could have done, but you can add it as little decorations and stuff like that, which I know it actually has a function and a purpose, but this is actually what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I know. And it's like we work on the actual function and the purpose, and it's like a little like texture. Like when our artists work on this block, they knew that they wanted basically to have it in line with other basically stripped oak logs, basically another oak woods, so you get another texture to play with, and this was all intentional.
Oh, sorry, my screen just went black for whatever reason. Yeah, that's really cool. And I mean, that's honestly the beauty of Minecraft, is that you can have a block in the game that can be interpreted into so many different things. And not to throw shade at other games, but a lot of times, they'll make the blocks too literal to what they are. Like, this is the roof block and this is the siding block. But in Minecraft, everything has so much interpretation for each block. And I think that's the absolute beauty of the simplicity of the blocks in Minecraft and how you can make them into literally anything you want. Like, I've turned the stripped logs into cookies before. It's like it could be anything. And I don't know, that's the beauty of Minecraft. And always a well done to the artist for always keeping things like it has its like purpose, but it can also be interpreted in so many different ways.
Yeah, like I like basically that's another sign. I just put the sign with hi on it.
Oh my gosh, that's genius. Wait, can you see this at a distance?
It's reasonable distance, but they will disappear at some point. But I think their view distance is extremely high. So this is way more than regular blocks.
That's such a cool idea to. Oh man, guys, we're clipping that one too. That's a great idea. That's a great idea to make a sign. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the weird beauty of Minecraft is like you have a bookshelf, but you're like, actually, that's a sign. That's a sign. I love that. I don't know. That's
It's
one of the
like
things I
it's
love
like
about this game.
yeah, it's like an LCD display
It is an
with like pixels on it. If you have a lot of books, you can do a lot of stuff.
That's absolutely fantastic. And also, of course, with like bamboo and the pink wood, which I assume this has a real name. I just call it pink wood. Cherry blossom wood.
Cherry, I think it's
Okay,
cherry.
I just keep calling
Yeah,
it pink
cherry
wood.
wood.
And also they have the everything. You have your half slabs, you have your doors, and all of that
Yes.
stuff. Trap doors, pressure plates, all that stuff.
Yes.
It's awesome. Oh
Yes,
yeah, you have the light
and
up block. Yay.
yeah, the game controller block, whatever that is.
It's a great decorational block, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, one unique aspect of the chisel bookshelf is that it basically remembers the last slot it was interacted with, so it doesn't really work like regular containers that output. Let's make a day. Doesn't output redstone based on the like fullness of the basically of its content, because that would be boring.
Yeah.
So let's say if you interact with the first slot and then this one I interact with the last slot, they look exactly the same. But if you look at the back, they output a different redstone signal.
Oh.
So you can use it not just for like hidden doors where you have to like place a book in the very correct spot, but also like if you have like a library and if you want to make sure that nobody tinkers with your books, you can actually remember the combination of last interacted slots in all the bookshelves. And then if somebody messes up, basically starts to go through your books, those books just actually remember that.
That's
forever.
cool. Can you create some like, if once again, if somebody takes like I don't know, like there's the functionality of this and now they take it and do something completely different. Can you create like memory in Minecraft? Like memory modules for redstone or something?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, this remembers stuff, and
Yeah, so it's
and
like that could
because
be
and
possible.
yeah,
That's
and you
really
can
cool.
and you can put books and takes books out using hoppers. So you can even do that automatically. So I'll be actually really interested to see how people take the chisel bookshelf and use it for other purposes as well.
That is really cool. And another aspect that I'm happy with, and it's been a pet peeve of mine from the very beginning of Minecraft, and that is the flowers that don't like fill the block very well. So like for instance, this just drives me crazy, Gnembom. There's
Okay.
it's like a desert wasteland that this flower lives on this top of this block.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I loved about the way you've done sea pickles and candles is that you can
Candles.
add multiple, right? So
Mhm.
I am so happy now that we can fill the block with this.
And not just that. Sea pickles and candles have 4 states, I
Mm-hmm.
think, where it depends like how many times you basically click on it. This is how many times they basically how many different items you have visible.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, orientation doesn't matter. Basically, it doesn't matter where you place it is the same. With pink petals, it's actually it also depends where are you standing, where basically when you're placing it.
Oh.
uh,
Oh my
so
gosh.
you can make so each pink petal is one of 16 possible combinations, and you can choose how that flower arrangement can look, and it actually can be very very detailed. So you always place from the like where you're facing is always the bottom right first, and then it goes counterclockwise.
Oh, like
So
I
you
guess
can
like
make
glazed terracotta.
yes, but then within each block you can put up to 4. Yeah.
Yeah. That's super cool. Like that pattern that you can make is, I'm so happy the flowers fill the block. Like that just makes me
Yeah.
so happy.
Yeah.
That's why,
So
like in
that's
Scarland, I went with coral for the flowers because it filled the whole area up, like in
yeah.
the flower bed. So I went with coral, and this is like the first step I feel like in like getting some nice, rich flowers. So I'm very excited about this.
Yeah. So I can maybe try to make like a little snake.
Well, we don't have to make a snake. No, we don't like snakes. We don't
Okay.
appreciate. No. I said one time, Gnembom, if Minecraft ever added a snake, that would be my retirement party.
Oh, so I made like a little basically. Okay, let's call it a trail. A trail of pink petals.
I like that.
Like going
I
through.
like that. Dude, I don't know
It's a
if you didn't tell us this, I don't think anyone else knew this. I think you've broken Minecraft news and my mind with this.
I don't think that was anything that we were hiding, but
Nobody knew this.
It's
This is amazing. Clip this, my friend.
but you can, yeah, but you can do so many so many intricate designs with these.
Oh, Cub knew. Of course, Cub knew. Of course, Cub knew.
That are
that's
essentially sub block resolution. Yeah, it's like one of the four.
That's really cool.
So
Yeah, that's, and then I can take this. This is the first time I've seen this. It looks like a tail. This thing's hilarious looking. I love this.
it's like the whole update in one block. It's basically trails and tails of.
I love that. That is really cool. I love what you did with this. Like that is such a cool idea to have like a trail. I mean, you could, like I don't know, like if you're doing something kind of like elven themed, maybe I don't know, maybe you have I don't know, like I don't know, in fantasy, like maybe the flowers follow the elves as they walk or something. I don't know. You could do something really cool with that. That is fantastic.
And I think one thing also that might be like really good for Hermitcraft is you'll play a lot with armor stands.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine using armor trims with armor stand book and all this stuff.
Oh,
Like you can add patterns onto pieces of armor, and then you can add them on armor stands, and that might be actually also really good use.
Cleo. Cleo's gonna have some fun with that. Yeah, Cleo's gonna have a ton of fun with that. And yeah, I don't know. This is exciting. Like you showed quite a few things that I had no idea about. So that's really cool. That's fantastic. And this fella, and this is the suspicious sand and suspicious gravel were added, and you can take this brush and you can wiggle at it.
Yeah.
The lack of a better term, you can go like that, and then inside the block, is that where you find the chads or the shreds?
Oh, sure. It's
shards, not chads.
Yes. It'll take some getting used to, but yes, those are called archaeological shards.
Oh, okay, and that's actually a real term, right? Like that's like a
yes.
like a scientific term. Okay, not Chad.
Yes, okay. Yes, and that's actually the benefit of being able to basically release stuff with time to spare, with basically allow us to like of getting feedback on like on items. Initially, it was called shards, basically pottery shards, but then the whole community of archaeologists step in. Is like, no, they're called shards, and we verified. It's like, yeah, makes sense. Taken, feedback taken. So.
That's good. That is cool.
Yeah.
And then of course, like to find there's archaeological things to find in the world besides the suspicious sand. Like there's actually structures in the world to find, right?
Yeah. So you can find this. You can find the sus sand and sus gravel in existing structures. So you can find them in desert temples and in desert wells, as well as the ocean ruins.
Oh, okay.
And but you can also find a new structure that's called trail ruins, as far as I remember.
Oh,
And that's like a bigger one that you can find. You can find, I think, 4 different armor trims there that are unique to that structure. And you can find a lot of the a lot of the unique shards as well.
oh, okay.
To those, it's basically like the olden days, with the old items that I don't know, a culture used, and it's
Mhm.
like there is not that much left after them, but
Yeah.
that's up to the players to basically figure out the rest of the story. So
Oh, that's really cool.
it's this is actually left quite vague for a purpose, so that basically players can build their stories around it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, that'll be fun to find. That's one thing that I don't know. There's some things in updates that I tend to try to not look at as much, because I want to be like surprised, similar to the Deep Dark. Like I obviously I knew the warden was coming and all of that stuff, but like just try not to like overly like pay attention to it, so it's like more of like a fun surprise when I get down there. Um, that was really cool, and I do have to say like a hats off to you guys for actually making that scary. Like you guys made that terrifying, and that's I can assume that was probably kind of a little bit of a risk. So I appreciate you guys going all out and making that as scary as it was. So it's
Scary what?
like the deep
What was
dark
scary?
and the warden.
Oh yeah,
Like
oh yeah.
I could have pictured that was like a little bit of a risk. Like should we how far should we take this? And it what it did was it really brought back that extra little element that I feel like that Minecraft had in its early days of like kind of that spookier nature that it had a little bit, this mysterious nature. So I think it kind of like revived that a little bit, which I loved. And I think any good story, and I think Minecraft in a way is like a story, right? You have like your happy, fluffy, pink trees here, but then there's also the scary area too. So I think like you well rounded like the emotions of the world. So I still like hats off to you guys for actually following through and making that scary. I'm still happy
Yeah, and
about
that
that.
was yeah, and that was quite difficult as well to pull off without like violating some good old internal Minecraft development rules. So you are very well warned about the warden.
Mm-hmm.
You get 3 warnings of that you may need to like back off, uh, if and then a warden is not a mob that like rewards you for killing it,
Mm-hmm.
for like defeating it.
Yeah.
You get 5 XP, same as for a zombie.
I didn't even realize that you get 5 XP for that.
Yeah, you get 5 XP, and the main idea behind it is that it's a mob that you are actually intend to avoid.
Yeah.
So you have to be sneaky, you have to be quiet, and then if you are sneaking quiet, that creates a new type of gameplay rather than just running around like crazy through the caves. You are sneaking through your world, basically trying to get to the goodies. So if you want to challenge the warden, so be it. we we are not preventing you from doing that, and you can still have a lot of fun with warden. But in like for most people, like what we intend to do is like you basically realize that this is something that you should maybe try to avoid.
That's yeah, that's yeah, it's interesting to have a mob that you really actually want to avoid. You just want to sneak in, get your sneak enchantment and your shards of
Yeah,
the compass thing, and then whew, out. That's
yeah,
interesting. I like that.
yeah. That's why like you also get, like as you said, like you get you get basically swift sneak, so you can actually escape the warden easier, and you also get e- like echo shards to make soul compass that allows you to actually find the place where you died.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't know if it was an intentional thing, but with Swift Sneak, man, you can lay down some blocks really fast with that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is like the builder's enchant, which is really cool.
Yes, exactly. And this was also meant this way. So for builders also to basically use it and like it's like basically sneaking and basically pillaring out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the most boring thing I think in the game you can have. Imagine doing that at like a triple speed, and I think it was a really good change.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. Um, yeah, that is, yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah, I'm looking forward to like what you guys have next. I bet you guys are thinking about it. I'm not asking what it is. I'm just excited, and I bet you guys are thinking about it. What's next?
Yeah, I
cannot say
can
a word,
definitely.
but I'm excited.
No, I can
Oh, you're
say
gonna
that we
spoil it.
are working on stuff. No. We are working on things.
I'm excited. You know, I
You
actually have
try.
this scroll right
You
here of
try.
ideas. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, it's a scroll here. You know, I've been doing my writing as I do with my Minecraft ideas. Um, yeah, be great if we could get more pastel blocks in the game. By the way, be great.
Okay.
It would be great if I love my little scroll. This is something that's been brought to my attention, and also I've known about this for a while. The fletching table, Gnembom.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the fletching table?
Yes, it's like a decorational block. Yes.
It can be.
With like, it can be.
It can be a decorational block, or we could make some sweet tipped arrows in it. Would be great. Also, a firework functional table, so we can make fireworks via a table. So I think that's a solid idea. You don't have to answer any of these. This is just me rambling, by the way. You can confirm or deny that I'm even talking. I'm just planting ideas in your head. Pastel blocks, a painting for every update, because you guys got incredible artists. Let those artists add it. You know, I bet they'll come up with great ideas. Fwip has been wanting dog breeds forever, so shout out to Fwip. But yeah, that's on the scroll. You can. I got quite a bit of ideas on my scroll. You know.
Okay. Go for it.
What else do I got on my scroll here? Half slabs and stairs for concrete. I know that'll never happen, but you know, you got to shout out to the builders out there that dream. We got to dream, guys. We have to dream inside. One of the biggest things is blue.
Okay.
Blue blocks. Blue blocks.
Water.
No, we need blue blocks. We need light blue blocks that have half slabs and stairs of some kind, because we have a lot of greens, a lot of turquoise and greens and reds and browns and all these things. But one of the lacking things in the game is blue blocks. So I just wanted to point that out there on this scroll that I have here.
Okay.
I'm just scrolling my scroll back up. There we go. So yeah, those are some of the things on my list. You already added two things that I wanted, and that was something that you could ride on land with two people and a compact bamboo block. So I'm happy about those.
We added robes.
The what with the
This
what?
is your robe. This is your robe.
Oh, that is really cool.
This is a vex trim on netherite.
That looks really cool. I love that purple on there. That's beautiful. We'll represent the Green Bay Packers on the other one here, and that's really cool. That's fantastic. Oh, look at that hat.
Yeah.
Oh, I've rarely seen any of these. I knew
so,
they were coming, but I didn't like the detail on that. What is this hat made out of?
This is actually a gold helmet.
But it's red.
But it has a silence trim, so most of the trims are very subtle. But there is one that is extremely rare. You can find them in ancient cities and at a very low rate.
Okay.
But when you find it, you can actually make an armor that most of the color is actually not the color of the base and material. So in this case, we have on the left there is the gold armor, and on the right there is the netherite one with the vex trim. But on
really
the
cool.
on the left, it looks like an emerald armor, but it's actually a gold armor trimmed with emerald.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And there's like 10 or 12 designs, or even more than that, of the actual trim patterns.
Wow.
And you can mix and match. And also, like when we released the armor trims the first time, community was like, oh, let us trim the leather armor as well. And we were like internally, we thought about it, maybe it's not that, like, it's too powerful, but it's like, why not?
Yeah.
So you can also apply it to leather, so you have all sorts of combination of colors now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is really cool. So, my scroll of ideas in Minecraft. Inventory management. Able to scroll items in and out of your inventory. Very, very useful. Blue blocks, as I said. Got blue blocks on here. And what else do we have on my scroll? It's a long scroll, Gnembom. I just unscrolled it a little further. We got blue blocks on there. And would love to see the end get some fun new enhancements. That'd be really cool. You're just staring at me with the funniest look. But yeah, that's the pastel blocks. Would love to see that. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm just gonna scroll my scroll back up, as you can hear probably.
Yes. Sounds good. Those are all great ideas.
Yeah, that is cool. We went way past our time, so I'm sorry if I kept you too long.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's absolutely okay.
Yeah, but this has been really cool, and yeah, thank you for joining us for this this exploration into the new update. You showed us a lot of things that I didn't know about, so I'm really cool, or it's really great to see those. And of course, I think the chat was really happy to see some of those things too. So so thank you for that, and congratulations on you and your team for the big update. This is really cool.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for following us, and thank you for cheering.
Well, yeah, I think I know, like, for a fact, like, man, the audience has been super jazzed, especially for the pink trees. Like, it feels like when I look at like Twitter or on streams, we talk about the update, like, people are very excited about the different things, especially the pink wood. That seems to be one of the big ones that people are excited about. So, so yeah, we can't wait to see what you guys come up with next. And as always, we're always cheering you guys along. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Gnembom.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thank you.
Yeah, this was a blast. So, all right, so I'm gonna go say goodbye to chat. So goodbye, Gnembom. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
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 Let's see. Oh my gosh, my screens all went black again. What is going on? I'm a professional streamer, they say, but it's truly not true. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was an absolute blast, hanging out with Gnembom. We got the scroll of ideas. By the way, the scroll of ideas. It's a long scroll. It's a long scroll. So, it probably was uncomfortable for him to hear me do that, but I thought it was pretty funny. Pull out the scroll of ideas. So the scroll of ideas is quite vast of good ideas. But two of the ideas on there that I've had for a long time were kind of, in a way, partially implemented in this update, so I was pretty happy about that. I think one of the biggest things for like a new update, like what I like to see is, one, I like seeing the developers happy and rested, or at least, not stressed, because stress is the number one killer of creativity. So like if you're, in a creative field, I think you can vouch for this, is that when you're stressed, that like clouds the mind, right? So that clouds the mind, and the mind is needed to create and be creative. So I think I'm glad to see that they're less stressed. So that's really good, because that not only is better for them, better for their health, and better for the environment of creating the game, but also better for the creativity of coming up with ideas. And that's the interesting thing about creativity in general, is that, like, it's like something that you try like so hard to, I don't know how to explain this. Like, if I need to go out and do yard work, like, I can just do it. I can just be like, come on, I'm just gonna do it. Or do you do something manual? Like when you need to come up with like, be creative in an idea, like you can't force it. It just has to come. So that's why you want to eliminate the stress around that, so that then, you know, so then that you can be better with what you create. So, so yeah. I love the scroll. Glad you guys like the scroll. But yeah, this was really fun, and Gnembom's awesome. I didn't get a chance to like fully like properly introduce him. Like, I don't know, like I said before, like Gnembom always has the greatest reputation amongst content creators. Like he's always so willing to like help you with redstone back in the day. Like, oh, let me help you here and there. And then in Nashville, when I met Gnembom for the first time, super nice guy. We hung out with him, Mumbo. So we hung out with him, Mumbo's girlfriend. At that point, Iskall and I think Stress were over, and False, I think they were over at the actual convention because Iskall was doing like another portion of it. So like we hung out for a long time, going back and forth to different places. So that was really cool. It was really cool to finally hang out with him again. Because like I said, he disappeared and we're like, what happened to Gnembom? And then it comes out, I joined Mojang. So that was really cool. And I'm glad we got the fletching table in there for Cub, by the way. We got that in there for him. Cub, champion of the fletching table. Cub will be avenged for his fletching table at some point. They will add the some kind of functionality to that at some point. One thing I didn't mention in my scroll, I'll give you actually a full rundown of my scroll. This probably sounds really great to you guys, doesn't it? Yeah. Just let it sink in, everyone. Yeah, let it sink in. Yeah, there we go. All right, this is the official Good Times with Scar scroll. Okay? This is the official Good Times with Scar idea scroll. We need an inventory update. Okay? We need an inventory update. We need to be able to store more items in our inventory from the game as the game increasingly expands with items and blocks. Okay, that's one. We need to be able to like scroll items in and out of our inventory much easier. So like into a shulker box, etc. Functionality for the fletching table. A firework table, so we can make fireworks. Big one right there. We need to add blue blocks to the game. We need to add pastel colors. So pastels can be similar to the cherry blossom planks, specifically planks, or the frog lights are also very similar in the color palette that I like. It's very subtle, it's very soft, but a lot of blocks in the game are very punchy in color, so it'd be nice to get some more subtle colors. All right, so that's on there. This is a little bit out there, but I'd love to see different colored brick. Now, this is probably something we'll never get, but when you're building cityscapes, I'd love to have like some like very charcoaly black brick. I'd love to have like a very like off-white brick and a tan brick. So I'd like those because I love building cityscapes, and having more functionality in that realm would be fantastic. I think they should do, on my scroll of ideas here, I think they should do a painting for every update. They've got incredible artists. You let those artists out there. You let them run wild. Let them come back with a great painting. We'd love it. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. Oh, dude, I didn't even tell him my number ones on here. I got number ones on here, guys. Minecart update. Okay, Minecart update. I don't know if it's possible, and Gnembom would have been the perfect person to ask, but we didn't ask him. We should have, and I feel bad about this, is can we ever hook minecarts together? Because I want to create a roller coaster of minecarts, and I want to take my buddies on a minecart ride, and I want to hook minecarts together. Okay, I want to hook minecarts together. That's a big one. I want a minecart elevator block that brings a minecart up vertically. Pretty cool, right? And also, you know, you can add more stuff to the scroll of greatness here. So like the so yeah, there's, what other ideas do we have on here? What other ideas? Other ideas. I think we had a mob idea once. What was our mob idea? I think we had a mob idea. But yeah, those are some of the ideas on the Great Scroll. Oh no! I thought of another idea that I completely forgot to bring up. This is I should have properly written these down. Should have properly written these down on the scroll. We need pipes. I get so much grief on Hermitcraft for using too many hoppers. Doc is out there just giving me the hardest time about how many hoppers I use. But I need pipes to move items around, right? I know you can use ice and all that good stuff, but what I'd love to see is an accessory block to the hopper, and that's a pipe. Just like a charcoaly black, just pipe, right? And you can hook that to the hopper, and it moves items through there and doesn't cause the lag that hoppers cause. I don't know if hoppers cause lag, but people tell me hoppers cause lag, so I just assume that hoppers cause lag. So, a copper pipe. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. The copper block. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, so like I said, I have no way to confirm nor deny that hoppers cause lag. I'm just told it does. And Grain says I have the laggiest base in the world. And Doc says I shouldn't use so many hoppers. But personally, how am I supposed to hopper and move blocks around? So yeah, a copper pipe would be amazing. So we can cut down on lag. I think that'd be really great. I'm an idea guy. I like coming up with ideas. I love it. A storage system. I did fix my storage system. Yes, it is entirely fixed. Does the crate mod have pipes? I think I usually don't use the crate mod for what it's actually intended for. So I think it may very well be. I don't think they'll unfortunately ever add vertical slabs. The best I think we'll ever get to that is walls. I'd love to see walls move into like woods. Once again, I don't think that's something that they'll do. Maybe just kind of keep the game maybe a little simple. They don't want to like just. I guess there's probably a point where they're like, is this just going to become bloat or is this going to become something useful? I think that's probably something they weigh a lot in their sticky note meetings. But yeah, wall wood, like logs would be really cool. But like I said, that's probably something they wouldn't add. But vertical slabs, I don't see that ever happening. I would love to see someday, but I don't know if it's something that's technically possible. I completely forgot my other great idea. And this is an idea that I've had forever, since 2014. Crystal caves. What are crystal caves, you may ask? Oh, well, let me tell you. A crystal cave is a rare biome underground. So it's a unique biome to underground. And there's crystals hanging off the ceilings. Okay, sweet. Crystal caves. Dude, I know. Longtime viewers, I've been talking about this since they added colored glass to the game. So you have your crystal cave. This is the best idea ever in the game, by the way. It's the best idea. So you have your crystal cave, right? You break the crystal and you get shards. And you're like, dang, we got shards. What are we going to do with the shards, Scar? Well, you take those shards to a lantern, a torch, or something of the like. And boom, you have colored light. That's right. The crystal is a color. Say it's orange. Now you have orange light. Say it's green. Now you have green light. So you have colored light in Minecraft. Can you imagine if we had colored light in Minecraft? Obviously, that's probably too much and probably not something that's possible, but we can use our imagination. Could you imagine having colored light? Because one thing that I love what they've done is they've really like beefed up the amount of music in the game. So you're adding like this extra element to the game of music, right? And that can add a lot to the ambiance of your build and what you're working on, having music. Think about it as Disneyland, right? Disneyland incorporates many different aspects to make you feel like you're in a themed environment, right? You have music, you have lighting, you have smells, you have sights, etc. So in Minecraft, we have like music that we can now incorporate in our builds now, but adding color light sets the mood. So if I have a spooky castle, right, I can put some of these colored lights around the outside. So I have maybe some green, maybe some red, right? Maybe it's Christmas time. We have our colored lights on our houses. So yeah, you would get those in a crystal cave. I love how uncomfortable that sound is. There we go. Those are all my ideas. I love coming up with ideas. Will any of those ever get implemented? Probably not. They're just crazy Scar ideas. They're just for fun. But yeah, colored light, boy. Can you even imagine? I think of the possibilities. I think that's the endearing part of Minecraft, right? I think I assume that from like a developer standpoint, the developers probably, I would imagine they probably get kind of annoyed by how much, like, we're always like, oh, we want this and we want that. Oh, we need this, you know? But on the other hand, it just shows that there's people that are very, very, very in love with your game. And they like it so much that they're using their own, you know, creative mind energy to like come up with ideas and envisioning this and that. If nobody cared about the game, they wouldn't generate ideas. So I can imagine it's annoying, but on the other hand, it's pretty good, right? It shows that people are super excited and passionate about their game. And a game that's, you know, 10 plus years old that continues to update, continues to get better, and things like that. It's kind of the endearing part of the game. But like for you guys, like what we now have 1.20. We have a lot of really fun things that we can now play with. But one of the parts that's fun about Minecraft is that we can speculate about what the next update is. If I were to speculate or think more of like, hey, what would I like in Minecraft? I would say I would love to see the end updated. And you know that Stephen King book? There's like these little like meatball-y creatures. They like eat the world. I don't know why I think they're now-and-laters. No, that's a candy. I forgot what it's called. We've talked about this before. But like having something like that in the end, that the Langoliers, there you go. Langoliers. The longer you're in the end, the more they try to eat you, like eat the world. Like they come in there, right? They come in there and they like, and it adds an element to the end that, so let me back up a little bit. I feel like the end was designed without rockets in mind, because it was, I believe it was added before rockets, not in terms of end, but like the end cities, the elytra, the way the loot is structured in the cities, because it's meant to be like parkoured up the little pillars to get to the different things. But when you have an elytra and you have rockets, you can go there and just raid every single one of those super easy time. So my idea would be to try to add a little bit more difficulty, because in Minecraft, I feel like there's been a little bit of a power creep. Like players have increasingly become more powerful. So to try to like cut down maybe a little bit on that, you would have like these creatures like eat the world. If you're in the end too long, they start coming after you. And unlike the phantoms that just hit you, right? These are trying to eat the world around you. So it's like spleefing. The world just starts disappearing around you, just like that Stephen King movie. Yeah, I think it would be really cool. But technically, and then these things are going to tear up your world. Like, is that a good idea? I don't know. But I just love the idea that you're in the end. So push away all the practical stuff. But like you're in the end and these things are eating the blocks around you. And you're like, oh my gosh, because you've been in the end too long and you've gotten too much loot. It's a way of kind of balancing out. So you're not just this endlessly powerful thing in the end, flying with your elytra and rockets, raiding, you know, building by building. It's a little bit of a power creep. Well, as a newbie, that's not much of an issue, because you would grab what you need and then you get the heck out. But if you stay too long, that's when you have trouble. And that kind of helps balance things out a little bit, because you can go in the end and deal with your Enderman and this and that. But if you stay too long, you be greedy, you're getting too much. That's when these things come. And they start eating the world around you. They spleef you. I just want to be spleefed in Minecraft. I love spleef. It's one of my favorite games and one of my favorite mini games. I think it would be really cool. I think it'd be really cool. I am not thrilled about the nerfed netherite armor and tools. I may have missed something. Did they nerf these things? Chat, hello. Could somebody explain? I did not know that they did that. I actually don't know what they did to them. You need more items to make them now. Oh, that's right. Cub had mentioned that. You need a template to upgrade. That is a feature that I don't know enough about. I need to go to Cub's 110 things you need to know about the update, or whatever that's called. I need to go and check that out. Yeah, I need to check that out. You need more diamonds and stuff. Oh, it's interesting. See, that's if I go back to my scroll. One of the things that I have on my scroll here is that I believe strongly, very strongly, that is, not all agree, very strongly, that netherite tools, cool looking, right? They're cool looking. They have extra durability, so that's nice. But I personally believe that the netherite tools should be able to insta mine deep slate, but only netherite. And why I think that is, it just gives you an incentive. I remember a statistic a long time ago, somebody at Mojang said that, like, this is years and years ago, so it's probably out of date. That only 20% of Minecrafters went to the nether. I was like, what? Only 20%? This is a long time ago, so who knows what the statistics are, but that's what I was told a long time ago. So, like, we need to encourage more people to go for netherite, go on more adventures in the game, right? And, you know, some people go and get netherite. I haven't even got netherite this season, only twice. Well, actually, I did go twice. I went and got a netherite hoe, which everyone needs a netherite hoe in their life, but I went and got some netherite and then died and lost it all. And then I just never went back. So I think that it's a cool idea to have there be special abilities, because as of right now, the netherite doesn't have any specifically, like, very specific ability that diamond doesn't have. It's a little bit better, just no specific, like, extra thing. So I think that deep slate should be insta mined with netherite. I think it makes sense because it gives you that incentive, like, oh, this deep slate's a pain. How do I actually insta mine it like I can with stone? Oh, I got to go on an adventure to the nether. So then I gotta get my gear. I gotta go to the nether, whole adventure, get that, finally achieve the netherite, and then die. And then you're back in there. You get some more again. You get the templates or whatever they are now, and you make this tool. And you hold it up high, and you're very proud of it. And you're like, finally, this very special tool can do this very special thing that I need to get this out of there. And to me, that's pretty cool. It has knockback resistance. Man, it's been so long since I actually used netherite. I forgot it had knockback. And that's fire resistance. But those are I get those are unique to it, but they're more like enchants. Like what I think about the ability for it to insta mine deep slate is like a special inherent, like, feature of the pickaxe, different than like an enchantment. Chrismers! Hello, Chrismers! How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hopefully your schooling's going well too. It's good to see you. But yeah, it's been fun today. It's been fun. I know it has that knockback and that fire stuff, but I'm talking about like an actual special thing. And that's Instamine. And that's part of the scroll. I want you guys to make your own scroll on Discord. Make your own scroll. Make your own scroll of ideas. Make your own scroll. I'll be honest, like, one of the things I would rather have a firework functionality table than a fletching table, because fireworks are a pain, and I'd love to see more people like get into fireworks. But if they had like a table, it might give them more incentive to do that. I think that would be cool. My crossbow idea. Yeah, that was so. Oh wow, this is an old one. This goes back a long time. A long time. 2015 to be precise. So back in 2015, I had an idea when I was building the Scarland roller coaster for a crossbow. Very different from the crossbow that was implemented in the game many years later. It was going to be smaller, it was compact, and it was a one-shot, one kill at a very close range. So the idea was that you have your bow for long-range engagements, and you have a crossbow for engagements very close. So the idea was if you were in a tight confined space and a creeper's coming at you, you can whip around with your crossbow. You only have one bolt and you fire at it, and you basically get a one shot, one kill at like 3 or 4 block distance. So it was only for like really like emergency quick shots. So yeah, that was my original crossbow idea. So yeah, it's that was it. One thing I wish they would have done with the crossbow is treated the crossbow like they did with the trident. The trident's really cool because it's rare and you feel accomplished when you find it and you're excited. You're like, yes, all that work, I finally got a trident. Very excited. Lagomatic. That's exactly. So that's what I applaud about Mojang, is doing the Lagomatic to allow us to fire fireworks. That's like fun. Like I always encourage them. It's like, do the fun thing, do the silly thing, because that's what makes fun, like great content. But anyway, if I would have designed that crossbow, I would have designed it similar to the trident. It would be a rare item that you could only get from raids. Like if you kill like the gray guys, whatever they're called, the pillager friends, like if you killed them. So if you killed Gem, thank you so very, very much for the bits. Very much appreciated. I like the idea of the firework bench. Right, Gem? I want more people to get into fireworks. Speaking of fireworks, I got to do a fireworks show. I'm going to be doing a lot of fireworking soon. Whew. Yeah, I got a lot of fireworks stuff I got to work on. But yeah, I wish they would have done the crossbow like similar to the trident, like a really fun, rare thing that's like an accomplishment. Like I defeated a raid and I got a crossbow for it. That'd be really cool. That'd be sweet. But there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I had an absolute blast. Once again, thank you so much for Gnembom for coming out. Thank you, of course, to Mojang and all the developers for the great update, the continued updates, continuing to make the game that we love better and better. And yeah, and I hope you guys enjoyed the great Scar Scroll of Ideas. I wish I would have had, like, when I'm talking to him, like, I had like my mind in like 50 different places. Like, what should I ask him? Like, I'm looking at the chat and the stream and all that stuff. My mind was, I wish I had all of my ideas like properly thought out, but we did the best we could. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for coming out. Thank you for the support on the Create series, by the way. Very much appreciated. So much positivity. It makes me so happy. Also, there was so much fan art before I even made my first episode, which blew my mind. Also working on, I probably shouldn't tell you guys. I'm looking at it. Can you see it through my eyes? I have a piece of artwork in front of me right now. That's super secret. It's super cool. And I see Jelly's face on it. I'm zooming in on it right now. It's really cool. I don't know technically if we've announced this, so I don't think I can really say it. I don't think we've announced it. Oh well. You'll see it in time. You'll see it in time. Tell us. You'll see it in time. You'll see it soon. You'll see it soon. I will actually ask if we've talked about this yet, so I can spoil it another time. Anyway, guys, once again, thank you so much for the support. Let's go out on a giant Scar raid into the wild worlds of Twitch to share the love of the Scar stream with a fellow friend in the wild worlds of Twitch. By the way, Twitch guys, am I right? These guys are firing on all cylinders. Definitely not trying to die by 1,000 cuts. We'll talk about that another time. Hey, it's a wild gem. A wild and mysterious gem. Enjoying the ancient ruins. So go say hi to Gem for me, guys. Tell her to make her own scroll. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. And enjoy Gem. I think she's with another fellow Minecraft developer, taking a look at the update and some stuff maybe that we didn't look at. Looks like she's looking at the archaeology.